So the whole landscape has changed in 2025, and we're doing business in totally new ways. Technology is taking us far beyond what we thought we could imagine, and we're turning the page. What looks like a next term, next 4 years politically of just a whole title change from blue to red and the economy changing. So I wanted to take a minute right now to talk to you about some of the considerations when starting an online business. Hey everyone, my name is Eric Von Kimball, and today what we're going to be talking about is 2025 business building. Your music career, around your music, around whatever type of business you really want to do online, using technology, AI, all of these things, taking these things into consideration, how to arm yourself, how to educate yourself. Are some of the things I'm going to be talking about over the next few months, maybe the rest of the year, because these things are so pivotal in some of the changes that are happening and coming. So I really wanted to start implementing these myself and taking you along on the journey with me as I educate myself, educate you on some of the new trends that are happening and how to apply them to your music, how to apply them to your education, learning. If you're learning guitar, if you're wanting to become more of a full-time musician, if you want to tour the world, if you want to travel, if you want to play your instrument in different cities, different countries, be able to create a business that really serves you and not just playing a Saturday night gig for $100, $200. So that's what we're aiming to get across in this video, one part of it. So I do have some notes here starting this new type of concept, speaking directly to you through the camera, hoping to offer some value to you about 2025, the coming changes, some things that I'm going through, and maybe you'll get some value out of it. So 2025 is off to a great start. As all of these things are happening, like the Trump administration, UAP sightings increasing tremendously, seeing the LA fires, definitely blessings to those who lost their places. But we're starting to see more and more something get revealed in not only our country, but in the world. Things are being revealed about some of the dark side that has been kept from us for so many years. Things, places in Hollywood, people dealing with children and abuse. And in the midst of all of the chaos, all of the change, even the wars and rumors of wars, we still have to go out every day and do our best. So the fear mongering that you might get from the media is keeping people in that state of fear and paralyzed from taking action. And I can attest to that because I am a victim myself of not only just the news or the constantly negative news known as CNN and other such platforms, but of just doom scrolling in itself, whether I might be on YouTube, just like you might be listening to me, or be on Twitter, or be on Facebook or Instagram. So easy to get distracted in today's modern times and actually get anything accomplished. It takes a increasing level of focus to get things done, because comfort, greatness, to attain greatness, comfort is the enemy of greatness. And even myself being guilty of the comforts of living in the 21st century in America as a free man. Yeah, I can build a business, but I can sit here and, eat these Cheetos or drink this juice and watch this movie and, have fun with my friends, spend time with my friends. Of course, you don't want to miss out on those parts of life. But however, when it's time to produce, when it's time to do work, are you willing to do the work? And that's where we are now. So creating content is one of those things of work. And you don't do it just by happenstance. For me anyway, I could just come on here and start talking and, not really making a point. But my whole goal is to increase my public speaking, communicating to you, delivering value, offering value through teaching, whether it be through music or whether it be through some life lessons, and sharing that value and building trust over this next year, 2025. So my goal is being more consistent on getting videos out, and not just any type of video, but some actual value. So documenting the process. So we're talking about things that we're doing in building our type of business. What type of business are we building? We're building a music business. I'm a performer. I play guitar. I tour all over the world. I have toured all over the world, tour all over the country as well. And right now I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama. And I know my light might be changing. I'm not sure if my light is changing on the actual video, but we're going to keep this thing rolling. And part of what I do is I work with bands. I teach bands, not teach bands. I put bands together to perform, and I teach students as well, privately or in groups. So building that trust to show you that, hey, I'm a real person. I actually play guitar. I actually practice thing. I actually do this thing. I actually do travel, and actually do make money doing what I do. And but I'm still learning. I'm still on this journey, learning now, doing more of the content creation and doing it really on my own right now. I do have a small team of people around me who help me with certain things like marketing, help me with business, bookkeeping, things like that, because you don't want to be bogged down as an entrepreneur by taxes and administrative stuff. I mean, all that stuff is important, but you really want to have those things down so you can focus on the highest priority tasks in your business. So I've kind of lined stuff like that out in my own personal business as a musician, because as a musician, you might be a musician as well, changing your brain from the artistic side of creating to the business side of creating, the analytical side, it can feel like a big jump. But the more and more I keep doing this, the more and more I see there's actually some synthesis in between both of them. But yeah, it definitely is a mindset shift to be able to say, oh, I'm in my creative space, I'm creating. Oh, now I have to switch over to business, talk about leads, talk about the marketing plan, talk about the lead magnet and things of that nature. There is a science to it, but there's also an art to it. So that's why I'm like, you can learn to be creative in your creative space, even on the marketing and the business side, if you can see the distinctions. And the only way to see those distinctions, if you haven't grown up doing this type of thing, is to actually do it. And I'm going to be proving that here each and every day, because I'm going to be coming to you, talking to you about it and doing it, because I'm doing it right now in real time. I'm not really used to speaking on the camera just as often. I do speak on the camera. I do speak and have a lot of things to say, but I hadn't had them organized, in writing a proper structure consistently. I've done it several times, but on a consistent basis and doing it more free form like this is new. This is different. And so we're on this journey together called life. I hope to continue to improve these sessions, which I think they are. This one is a bit better from the last one I did, even though it was 2 weeks ago last year. Happy 2025. But this year, I'm already improving. Why? Because I'm breaking the barrier. I'm just going for it. And I'm going to continue to keep going for it. And I think that's what is really needed in 2025. 2025, we need people not just in the music industry, but in all industries to be breaking out of this social norm, of this social construct of being an employee, this social construct of I need to go to school, get a degree. And there's nothing wrong with going to school, getting a degree. I'm support of education 100%. But when you're talking about going to get a degree so you can get $100,000 into debt, so you can get a job that pays you $30,000, I don't see how that math works out for a lot of the past generation of students that just went through. And that's why they become extremely liberal, extremely narrow. There's nothing wrong with being liberal as well. But I'm talking about they're extreme to where, the colleges and universities have disrupted the learning education process and put in, like cross cultural DEI type, I need to know that you're a lesbian, or I need to know that you're gay for some reason. I don't need to know that you're gay. I don't care that you're a lesbian. I have nothing against you, but I'm not going around talking about how straight I am and promoting my straightness. So why do we have to promote your gayness? But let's not start a war on that. That's just an observation of some how the universities operate. They're not really teaching education now. They're teaching an ideology of some sort that is opposite of educating and researching and critical thinking. So with that, though, we're going to keep moving. But creating music. So yeah, on this channel, I'll be doing some live vibe sessions, some creating and storytelling as well, included in that. Storytelling with words, storytelling with a song, storytelling with images. That's the goal here in 2025. It's not just 2025, but I heard a quote from Myron Golden. He's one of my internet mentors. I've got a few internet mentors, that I'll let you in on here in the future. But Myron Golden, he's one of those guys who says, I just lost it, but it'll come back. And see, what I'm doing this thing so it's so live right now that this might happen. So I have to be better prepared with my notes, right? So this is how I'm preparing for my notes. This is how I prepare for today. I put a couple points that I just wanted to touch on, and this is going to help me build for the next video I make and the next video I create, and making sure that I'm continuously being an example. Being an example of a leader, being an example of someone who is a free thinker, and being an example of someone who is escaping the ideology, the mindset, the rat race, what have you, whatever you want to call this machine that we're in, where you have to work 40 hours for barely enough to pay for all your bills and try to take care of your family. And nothing seems to be working in the healthcare system. Nothing seems to be working in their community. All of this stuff has to be upended. All of it has to be changed. And I'm becoming more and more passionate about these things the more and more I see it and see history, because I study history. And there were Russian musicians back in the 40s and 50s. There was also music that created a cultural shift. I can't bring them up right now, but see, that'll be another note I can bring in the future. Some of the songs of the past that told the story of what was happening in the present, because they couldn't really talk about it, but they put it in songs, and those songs rang very true. They rang very real. And man, I can't remember which one that was, but songs, Myron Golden, these are people. You look up Myron Golden too if you haven't heard of him before. He's a black entrepreneur, from the trash man to the cash man, and very incredible story he has. And he talks a lot about wealth, talks a lot about creating assets, and how to increase your value in the marketplace using communication, using imagination, which is what we're doing. Again, an example: communication, imagination. Imagination is, what am I saying? What am I talking about? What do I intend on creating over these next 12 months? Now that we're already 3/4 of the way through January, and time is going to continue to move. So over the next 10 years, if I keep doing something like this and bringing content, not only content, but music lessons, offering value through education, what could that look like? So the type of education I want to bring, well, for one, I want to bring some financial education to you. I'm not a guru on finances, but I have enough of a grasp on the basics to get anyone started. To get anyone started in business, have enough of the basics to get anyone started on their personal financial plan, which is the most important part of any business, is your own personal finances. Because if you get your personal finances worked out, business becomes a lot easier because you're not worried about how to pay bills. You're not worried about all of these other things. So if you learn how to manage your money properly, and can actually start to build up a savings, pay off bad debt, start to build up a savings, be able to invest in insurance, things like this, life becomes a lot easier when it comes to building a business. However, there's two sides to that, because you cannot have anything, and that drives you even harder to build your business faster, quicker, stronger, because it's like, well, shit, I got all these bills. I got to get it going. Well, you just need to know your personality type for something like that. It's like how Tony Robbins talked about the pleasure and pain aspects of things, how we run toward pleasure and run away from pain. So you have to know what triggers you, your psychological trigger. If it's a pain thing, you want to make it as painful as possible so you can get away from it and go and chase wealth. But if it's a pleasure thing, you want to run to it because that's the thing that you want is wealth. So it just depends on your temperament, which takes a bit of introspection, takes a bit of self-auditing. Self-auditing is extremely important. In the groups like AA, it's called like taking a self-inventory, a personal inventory. I believe that's like step 4, somewhere in there. Those AA groups are really good communities too. If anyone of you go to those, you might understand. So AA talks about self-inventory on one of those steps, and some of my mentors actually talk about self-auditing, and when you do that, you really go to those dark spots, those parts where within yourself where you can't let go, or you don't want to let go, or you're still holding on to trauma. You've been abused when you were younger, you were hurt when you were younger. A lot of these things can tend to hold you back in your later in life. When it comes to starting a business, when it comes to taking risks, when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone, when it comes to even performing for musicians. So doing some self-work has allowed me to be more free on camera. Doing self-work and inner work has allowed me to be more free when I do shows and events, because the type of shows and events I'm doing has changed. It's evolved to where many of the times I'm the only one on the stage. I am by myself. I have my guitar, my tracks, a microphone, and we go, right? So in between those songs, when I'm not playing songs, what am I saying? What stories am I conveying? What am I talking about? What am I promoting? It takes some inner work to be able to do that. And it sounds like they're not connected, but they very much are, because the more you can connect with you and be comfortable in your own skin when you're standing in front of an audience of a few people to a few hundred people to a few thousand people, you can connect better with them because you're not in your head of what do they think of me, or judging yourself, or I might not be good enough, or, these type of things. When you do the self-auditing, step out of yourself, it makes your performance a lot more flow because you're not in your head. You've let go of some traumas. You let go of what people can think of you, what they might think of you. And releasing that and letting go of things like that over time can help you expand as a musician, can help you expand as a performer, can help you expand in your business. Trust me on this. Active listener number 1 is me, because this is just a part of life. I have a little bit of age. I have a little bit of, I guess, wisdom, so to speak. So I just want to continue to share that with you. I want to continue to give you a breath of fresh air, something different. Because we'll talk about the politics, we'll talk about the aliens, we'll talk about all of these things and how it all ties into, the zeitgeist of the culture that we're in now, and how you can separate yourself as an artist, as a musician, or use these things to your benefit. Use a UAP scenario to your benefit, or a Trump executive order some of these things to your benefit as a musician. It doesn't sound like it ties in, right? But it absolutely does. I tell you why, because this is 2025. Everything has changed. If you're not on here creating content, if you're not on here relating to people, if you're not on here, telling a story, you might be missing something. And if you're telling a story with your music, you can tie it all in. You see how this works? So I love you. Guys, hit the subscribe button if you may have found value out of this video. I want to keep bringing these videos to you. So please let me know in the comments if you found any value, and I will see you guys on the next video.